Hello everybody and welcome back to Factory Town. As always, I am Dor. Today we're going to go ahead and complete the second level here, and it starts us off with some of the stuff already automated for the most part, so we can kind of see how the conveyors and stuff work, because we didn't actually place any of this stuff down. We just went ahead and built them to go ahead and complete the level, but now we can see that the town is pretty much automatically doing it itself, or the building here is doing it itself, and then that travels down to the bakery, I'm guessing, or the food mill, and then grinds it down into the flour, and then that goes on over to the market, I believe it's going to. So that's kind of cool. It also does it over here with the stone too. So let's go ahead and see what we actually need to go ahead and do for the quest this time around. So for the tech level here, we're going to need 10 of the wood wheels, 20 of the stone bricks, which I think is already being produced in this guy here. We're also going to need 25 of the cloth conveyor belts, and then 25 of the wooden rails as well. And then for the victory condition, we are going to need to go up to level 4 on the tech level. We need to go ahead and build a forester and a pasture, and then we're also going to need to make 25 sandwiches and 25 warm coats. Okay. So let's go ahead and see if we have anything we can go ahead and research right now. So the only thing we can research right now is the civics. We need to rank up our tech level to 3 so we can go ahead and unlock the buildings and stuff that we need for that quest. So if we open this thing back up, we need to go ahead and start producing some of the wagon wheels, which I don't think are being produced at the moment, and that's going to go ahead and eventually work its way toward completing the tech level. So this is a forestry building, right? This guy's making the planks. Can we have this guy also make the wagon wheels? No. We need one of the other buildings, which I forget what it was. I think it's this guy right here, the workshop. So if we place that over here, we should be able to go ahead and have this guy start producing wagon wheels, and we can. So then we need to find whoever is taking the planks, which I don't know if they're going anywhere. It looks like that guy's taking some to the store to sell. So we might need to go ahead and just place a guy here. Oops, where did he go? I didn't place the guy down. Never mind. There we go. There's a guy. We should be able to have him pick up from this crate and take them over to the building. So can we view the stuff that's in these crates? We can indeed. Okay, so we have 20 planks in this crate, and then we also have another 20 in that crate as well. So we might be able to go ahead and connect these things into the buildings. Do we have that option? We can. It looks like we just need a conveyor going into the building, and that's all the automation you need to have it, like, receiving the items here. So if we take a look at the stuff here, because I didn't mess with any of that last little level, I don't know how we do this exactly. We need a plank for a chute, and that's it. Okay, so if we build a chute, we would have to delete the crate, I guess. But can we place something to automatically pull from the crate instead? Logistic blocks. We can use a grabber, I think. But we need to go ahead and build a little platform as well before we can do that. So we need one of those, and then we can use one of these. No, that's too low. Can we use a platform? We can't use a platform either. Maybe it's a double thing. Maybe it is the wooden pillars and then the wooden platform above that. It is indeed. Okay, so from that, can we then go ahead and place a grabber on top of that and have it actually face the building? So something like that, and then we need another one of the little structural things to go ahead and go there, and then we need one of these guys again. And then from that, can we then place the conveyor, or the chute, not the conveyor, never mind. But can we place that going this way? I don't know if that's actually going to go in, because now it's saying that it's another grabber thing, but that's not what we need. So is this actually taking just planks? It's just taking planks. How do I get you to go into the thing is the question. Oh, there we go. Is that going to work? So this actually isn't a thing. It's just a thing that hovers over the chute itself. So we have conveyor belts here, which as far as I can tell, we can't build right now. We don't have any of those in our inventory, but we can use the chute, I think, to go ahead and do that. And then we can go ahead and have this point toward the building. And maybe that's going to work. can we have you then take that and deliver to this place? So I can't actually get this thing to work the way I thought it would. So we might actually need to use these conveyors instead of the chute things, because that's kind of how it's working in the other places that it's at right now. So for right now, we'll just go ahead and leave it alone and eventually empty this thing out to go ahead and be able to swap that out to something else, because we can probably just have it going from the pusher over here if we just get rid of the crate. But right now our people can't actually unload that crate on its own here. Can I disable this thing? I can. So that way it's not going into the crate anymore. And then if we go ahead and build up to the crate on this side, we should be able to go ahead and empty it eventually. So if we go ahead and place some stairs like so, and then let's see, can we build a little pathway thing over the top of this? We're probably going to block the walkway, actually, if we do that. Let me see if we do this, and then we place the platform above that. We need to go ahead and remove this and place another set of 2 stairs here. So something like this should work, and then we need the stairs, which are right here. There we go. And then we can go ahead and do that, and hopefully that means our employee can actually get to that box. So we need him to stop taking from there, take from here, and drop off to there. And then once this thing empties, which isn't going to take that long, we need 20, so it's only going to make 10 of these wagon wheels. We can then go ahead and try and automate that with the little pusher grabber thing again, instead of trying to just have our employee walking back and forth, which is going to go ahead and free up a little bit of space here. But we went ahead and completed one of these things. So the wagon wheels and the stone bricks are done. That's going to increase our tech level. And with that, now we have the farming thing, the forestry building, and some other items here and there. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and research the farming building, and then we're going to need the pasture as well, but we can do the farming building first so that we can get that building up and going. We're going to have to save up a bit of the research points to go ahead and buy the other things, but we need another 100 books to go ahead and get the forestry building, and then another 150 to go ahead and get the animal pasture, and that's the last 2 buildings that we actually need. The other stuff here will go ahead and help, but we don't necessarily need it for the goal thing here. So we need to go ahead and make wooden rails and the conveyor cloth belts here. So I think we need to research that as well. Wooden rails, yeah, we need 200 on top of that. Okay, so we need 3 more items in our book thing here. We might also need the tailor. I don't know how we make the cloth conveyor belts. Is that in this building? Yeah, we can make them in here. Okay, so we can do that, and then we need this stuff, which is off of my screen. We need cloth, so we can also make that in here as well. We need cotton coming into it, or we need wool going into it. Either one of those produces the cloth, and then we can use that to make the conveyors. So let's go ahead and see. Is this thing empty yet? It is empty. Sweet. Let me see if I can go ahead and get this thing kind of connected in so we don't have an employee doing this anymore. Okay, so actually I forgot we needed to go ahead and build some of these things. So we need to go ahead and toggle this guy to go ahead and make some of the conveyor belts. And then with the conveyor belts, we can go ahead and build these ones here to go ahead and connect into this building, hopefully here. So we just need to let this process through for a second, and then we can hopefully see if this is going to work or not. Okay, so that didn't actually work. We need to go ahead and have maybe this one actually facing the other way. Let me see. Let's remove this one and all of that. And then if we have one of the little conveyors pointing toward the building, is that going to allow us to go into it? I actually need to build a platform again. And then off of the platform, we should be able to go ahead and go right into the building. Oh, actually, we need a support block on top of that, so we do need the other structure piece too. So hopefully this works here, and it allows us to go ahead and feed the building, and it's going into it. So does that mean we are indeed getting the planks now? So we can have this guy not delivering that stuff anymore, so that we have it kind of automated from this little section here to go ahead and feed the planks to the building. And now that's automatically going to start producing the conveyor belts, but we still have this person delivering the lumber to the building manually, and this building is also still getting lumber delivered to it manually. So do we have an option of automating the lumber production here? Or gathering at least. So we do, but I don't think we have it unlocked yet. I think that's what this forestry building is. I think this is going to allow us to plant stuff and also cut down trees with the building here, like the gatherer thing over here is doing for us right now. So let's go ahead and unlock that for 100 points. And that's going to give us the building and the ability to plant trees, which is cool. And if we take a look at our building stuff here, we should have the forestry building. There we go. So if we place it here, we can kind of just conveyor it into the building and not have that much of a distance to cover. But I'm going to scoot it all the way to the end of the pathway like that. It's going to cover a few trees. And then if we place that, we should be able to go ahead and harvest trees, which we are doing. So if we go ahead and then place down the conveyors and stuff, we can just go ahead and feed right into the building without much of an issue. So we'll place that one there, and then I don't think we can use the chutes. I'm going to try, since it's coming from a building, maybe it'll go ahead and connect in, and I think it did. Yeah, let me have all of these workers stop delivering lumber for a second, just so we can go ahead and see if maybe we are doing that or not. So we are indeed having the lumber go into the building now, so we don't have to have these guys cutting down trees anymore, so that's nice. That's 3 people available to work now. We could also go ahead and set up a splitter, I think, to go ahead and feed this one lumber as well. So if we go back over to this thing, we have a splitter, and from there we're probably going to have to use the conveyors because we have to go uphill to get to this place. I think that's why we can't use chutes everywhere, I think, but let's go ahead and try. So we're going to pop a splitter there, and then if we run the chute up this way, is it going to send anything this way? So I don't think it's actually sending anything to the right. I need to go ahead and take a look at this splitter over here. So we have the stuff kind of glitched together, kind of clipping through the chutes here, but this is also coming downhill, so I don't think we can do it over here, but we'll go ahead and give it a try nonetheless. Can we have a chute going into this one and going right? Yes, we can. Okay, so is that then going to send stuff to the right? It is indeed. Okay, but it is going to roll back down, so we can't actually use this. We do need to go ahead and use the conveyor belts to go ahead and get it over to this building. Okay, so that's a good thing to know. Let me go ahead and close all of that stuff, and I'm going to leave the chute there. Maybe we can get away with it, and we can go ahead and just have the conveyor belts go to there. Is that going to work? It is indeed. Okay. So then we just need to go ahead and wiggle our way over to the building, which shouldn't be that big of an issue here. And there we go. So now that's going to be the lumber and the planks automatically going to this building. So we're just going to have conveyor belts being automatically produced now, which is nice. We might want to go ahead and add more workers to this building so that we have more of a lumber output from this. And we bumped it up to 4, and that seems to be a decent speed right now to go ahead and keep this building running and then having lumber still going down this line. So we can go ahead and leave that as is. And do we have a way of planting the trees back? We need this, and we need 4 of, what is that, fertilizer. So I don't know how we get that right now. I think we might need to go ahead and build the pasture, maybe, to get the fertilizer from that. We can't do any of the fruit trees, or I guess we could do the fruit trees, but there's no point right now because we can just have our workers taking the stuff from those. So let's actually start squaring away some of our food stuff right now, because right now the only thing we have coming in for food is the flour, according to our little market over here. So we can go ahead and throw down a couple more of these buildings over here on the apple orchard. We can do one over here on the grapes and the pears. Is there any other food items around here? We have more wheat over there. We have cotton that we need to go ahead and start producing the cloth with. And I think that's all the food stuff that we can actually reach from our town center. So let's go ahead and plop down. I believe we need to plop one of these guys here, the forestry buildings that we just unlocked. So we can go ahead and plop that over here by the pears. And we'll do that about there to go ahead and cover as many trees as we can. Let's also have that gathering the pears. And let's have a pathway going back to the town. So something like that should work. And then from this, we're actually going to go ahead and place down one of the work carts that is going to carry stuff back to the town instead of having an employee do it. So if we have this guy grabbing from there and then taking it to there, that's going to be taking all of the pears that this thing produces and dropping it off in the market, just how the flour is doing it for that little automation thing that was set up for us. And then the grapes, I think we need to go ahead and place this building again. No, we need to go ahead and place the other one, which I think is going to be the farm. And yes, we need the farm to go ahead and harvest the grapes for us. And then we can place another forestry over here on the apples to go ahead and get all of the food items that we can get into the building here. So where's the farm at? We don't have enough planks right now. So we actually need one of our employees taking the planks that are going into this crate and dropping them off in our main building so that we have them going into our inventory again, because we don't have that right now. And we're also able to go ahead and rank up our town center. So let's go ahead and do that to get a little bit more radius to the grabbing area here. I'm also going to go ahead and disable the pusher because right now we have a bunch of the conveyors in our inventory. I don't know how we check that because I thought it goes here, but it's not there. But we need more planks than we need conveyors at the moment. So I'm just going to go ahead and swap that off. And then this building is basically not going to run for a little while until we get a nice little backlog of the planks going. So we can go ahead and place these two buildings and place some carts to go ahead and bring the stuff between them and get the food that they're going to generate going. So let me go ahead and do that really quick. Okay, so we got the grapes going now. We have a little cart taking the grapes over to the market as well. So now we have, I believe it should be 3 food types to each house, which we do. Okay, now we can go ahead and automate the cotton really quick. We're going to do that one first because we need the cloth being produced, and then if we have enough stuff left over, we're going to do the apples as well. But let's go ahead and place down another farm over on the cotton here. So we need one of you, and we're just going to go ahead and have this going right into the building here because we don't really need it going that far. So I think if we go ahead and do it like that, I don't think we actually need anybody interacting with the building. So I think we should be fine doing it like this. And then we can go ahead and select the cotton to be produced. And then we can just have one of these guys grabbing from the building. And then we can go ahead and throw a conveyor on it to go right into this building. And now we should have cotton coming in, which we do, and that's going to go ahead and produce the cloth. And then we can have the cloth coming out of here and going into our storage because we need that going into there, so we can go ahead and get the credits for that. Actually, we need it for something else, right? We actually just need the cloth from this place going to the other workshop instead of the main warehouse because this one's already producing the conveyor belts. So if we go ahead and supply the cloth from this place, we don't need to run the lumber to this warehouse to produce the conveyor belts as well. So it kind of cuts down on the things we need to do. So let's go ahead and run one of the little wagons in between this warehouse and the other one. So we're going to pick up the cloth. Can I set a filter on this? I can. Okay. So we just need this grabbing the cloth. We don't want it grabbing the books that this place can also produce. And we need that going back over to this place. And that's it. So it's going to take the cloth, drop it off over here as we start producing the conveyor belts again, which we have 121 right now. So we're probably just going to have it come back from this warehouse into here just to go ahead and make some of the cloth ones when we unlock those. But that should be good. We have 238 research points, so we can go ahead and unlock some more stuff. Let's do the pasture because we need that. And then let's see, we need the conveyor belt, but in order to do the conveyor belt, we need to unlock something else. What do we need to go ahead and get to that? I actually don't know what we need to go ahead and unlock to get those unlocked for us, but we need the wooden railway still, so I need to go ahead and save up a bit more of the points here. We need 200. We're only at 100 right now. So in a second, we can get that, and maybe that's going to trigger this thing to unlock. I'm not quite sure. Does it tell me if I hover over any of these? No. It just tells us that we need the cloth conveyor belt to unlock the cloth conveyor belt, so I don't know what we need. But anyways, I'm going to wait until we get this thing unlocked, and maybe then it'll unlock this thing as well. So we had room to go ahead and place down 2 more houses, which we just did. This is going to increase the house capacity again, so we can place down another 4 houses as well. So let's go ahead and place them over here. We'll just place them anywhere, really, because there's no real point to not placing them wherever you can. And we have room for 1 more. Let's go ahead and place that right there. And do we have enough stuff to place down the forestry? I think we do. So let's place down the forestry as well so that we can go ahead and start harvesting the apples from this place as well. So that should be good. Let's go ahead and have you grabbing the apples. So then we can have that taking the apples and going back into the main building. So we can just have another cart doing that. So grab the apples, drop them off there, and that should be 4 food items now going into each house, which it is. And now, how do I get the water to everywhere? Is there a way I can do that without having to have a dozen workers going to each house? Not really, but we also can go ahead and supply the houses with hardware, which are planks, the stone bricks, and the wagon wheels, which I think we should just have to deliver them to this place, and then it'll automatically do that. So we can have the people delivering to that thing instead of the main warehouse, but we actually need the planks for stuff, so I'm going to hold off on doing that for right now. We also just unlocked the pasture, so we can actually place that down somewhere and see what it's going to produce. So it's only 30 stone and 20 planks. Let's go ahead and place that. Let's go ahead and place it over here by these houses because there's nothing else over here. So let's see what this is going to produce. We can make eggs, we can make raw chicken, we can make the fertilizer, we can make the wool and fertilizer, and we can also make the leather or milk, and also with fertilizer attached to those. So we can, well, what is this actually? Animal feed. How do we get animal feed? Produced by the food mill. Okay, so we can turn our wheat into animal feed, or we can also do that with carrots and potatoes as well. So we're already producing the cloth with the cotton, so we don't actually need the wool. But if we go ahead and take a look at the houses really quick, I don't know why I scrolled over there, we have houses right here. We can supply these guys with stuff to go ahead and increase our happiness on them as well. So if we do the wool, that's also a happiness thing for them, or we can go ahead and give them milk, and that's going to be another item for food. I was kind of hoping the milk might count as the drink thing, but it doesn't. Okay, so we can either do the leather or the wool. Either one works for the little bonus thing for the clothing section, and the wool actually requires less items than the leather, so I'm going to do the wool. And then we need one of our factories over here producing the food for the thing. So this guy needs to start producing the other stuff as well. And we can go ahead and have it set to do that. And this guy is already filtered to only be removing the flour, so this guy's not going to remove any of the other stuff, which is good. And I think for right now, we'll use another cart just to go ahead and take it from the building over to the other place. Just kind of, I think this is faster, and they might carry more items as well. So we need you grabbing that, and then we are going to have you drop it off over here. And what else did we need to supply this with? Water. We can have a cart also taking the water from the well right here, since we are right next to one, and then dropping it off in this thing, and that should be good. How much water does this thing carry? It carries 4 water. So what if we throw 2 of the carts on water duties? Maybe we can supply all the houses with water like that. I think, maybe. Let's go ahead and give that a try. We have the workers to go ahead and do it, so we might as well try it. So let's have you grabbing water, and then we will have you go to those houses. And then same thing with this one, we'll have you go to these houses. And I think it'll do a little trip around to other little houses as well, instead of just sticking to that one. And it looked like it actually dropped all 4 of them off to this place. So maybe we would need a bunch of carts. Yeah, it looks like it's only doing 1 house at a time. It's not actually carrying the 4 that it should be, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's at least going to different houses. It's not going straight to the same one over and over again. So eventually it'll go ahead and do what it needs to do nonetheless, and it'll give us another bonus in the happiness thing. So eventually that'll happen. We have almost 200 points to go ahead and research the thing that we need. Let's increase our population again, and we can also go ahead and place down another 4 houses. So let me find an area we can squeeze these in at, because right now there's really kind of limited space. Not really. Let me just place these down wherever. That'll go ahead and work. We squeeze them in over here by the school, and we are still slowly climbing up the research here, but in a minute we should have enough to go ahead and research the thing that we needed. So I went ahead and automated this little section really quick. So we have lumber going into a paper mill, and then we have that paper going up and splitting into this building. So we're also producing the books and the cloth now, and then the paper and the books are going into the school, and that's kind of doubling up on our research speed right now. So we have double the research coming in. Every book apparently gives us 10 research points compared to the single point that the paper gives us. So now we are up to 400 science. So let's go ahead and research the other stuff that we needed. So we needed the wooden railways, and that's going to go ahead and give us the wooden rail and the wooden mine cart. So we're probably going to be able to move a lot more stuff with those two items. And we're still not able to unlock this thing. So, oh, you know what? Actually, we need that. Okay, so we need the intermediate logistics. So can we do that? We do have enough points. So let's go ahead and buy that. That's going to allow us to start producing those conveyor belts. And that's cool. So do we need anything else from this tech tree? I don't think we do. Oh, we need this. Never mind. We still need the conveyor belt to research it. So we need another 200 books and then a 200 red coin thing. I don't know how we're getting the red coins. So we actually make the red coins by selling stuff to this building. So we need to go ahead and start moving our stuff over to go ahead and start making some money with this thing. And then we also apparently ranked up our town center to go ahead and select a specialty. So we can do the processing because that's the only one available. I think that's going to go ahead and give us some boosts in the production speeds and stuff. I'm not too sure, but it does kind of seem like the carts are moving a lot faster and the people seem to be moving. Maybe that's what it was. I'm not too sure, but we need to go ahead and start toggling our stuff to go to here. So for right now, the little cart, since we don't have the conveyor belts unlocked right now, we can have it going to this place instead. And we're also going to go ahead and have the planks going to that building as well. And is there anything else that we're producing right now that can go in there? I think the wool is being produced, although the carts seem to be stopped for some reason. Why are you guys held up? Oh, because they can't unload. Okay, so we need this guy to then take the wool that we're producing and drop it off in the building. That'll go ahead and start generating the red coins, and it's already doing so. And let's see, what else do we need to go ahead and do? We do need to go ahead and start producing this thing, so we need the tailoring building for that as well. Okay, do we have enough for that too? Another 200 on top of that. So it's going to take us a little while to go ahead and generate the 200 red coins, but it's not going to take us as long to generate the science points. So let's go ahead and do the tailor building as well. And we leveled up our town again, so we can increase the house capacity another 6, I think it said. So I went ahead and set the fertilizer from the pasture going into the berry farm, so we have it being used at least and not just clogging up the inventory on the building. But we also ranked up our town again, so we can increase our stuff for 200 of the reds, but we actually need the reds for the science thing. So let's unlock that first, and then if we get 200 points of that, again, we can go ahead and unlock the other thing. But let's also do this one, the coin booster. That's going to increase our coins as well, so that's going to come in handy. And the rest of this I think we'll just leave alone. We don't really need any of that to progress the level here. Never mind, we also need the kitchen because we need the sandwiches being produced. So we need another 100 of the research points, and we can go ahead and get the kitchen up and going to go ahead and start making some of the sandwiches. So we also need to go ahead and get a leather farm going because we need the warm coat, which needs leather and then a t-shirt, but we also need a tailoring building down to go ahead and make those. And then for the sandwich, we need chicken. So we also need a chicken farm going. I don't know how we make the cheese. That's probably also in the kitchen, which we can go ahead and unlock now. So let's do that. And now what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually double up on the wagons going to the pasture. Actually, hold on. Before I do that, let me see if I can even double up on this stuff that gets made here. So we're going to need chicken and we're going to need leather, which we can indeed go ahead and triple up on this thing here. So let me go ahead and throw probably 2 more of the wagons on here to go ahead and take stuff to that place. We need the animal feed going to it. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and need a kitchen, which we should have the stuff to hopefully get that produced. So let's go ahead and make a kitchen, and we'll go ahead and plop that over here by the pasture. So hopefully we can just go ahead and automate it with the conveyor belts and do it like that. So let's see, we need this thing producing the cooked chicken, and then we're also going to need the bread. Oh, we can only do 1 in each of these buildings. Okay, so we'll do the chicken in this one so we can just conveyor right into it, and that should work. So let's go ahead and plop one of these guys onto there. The grabber should work. And then we need a conveyor underneath that to go ahead and go into the building. We also need this thing to go ahead and have a filter on it because it's not going to do anything otherwise. So that should work. And then we need to go ahead and supply this with something as well. Ooh, we can actually feed it fertilizer to run the fuel like that. So what if I disable the one that's taking the fertilizer right now, which I think is going to be this guy, and have it just drop off here for right now. And then when that's done, I'm going to go ahead and just move the cart and then throw another conveyor to feed the fertilizer to the building. So there we go. Now this is going to be producing the chicken that we need for the sandwiches. And let's see, we can go ahead and place a tailoring building probably behind it to go ahead and make the other stuff. So let's go ahead and place one. Let's see here. Let's place it over here. And on the recipe, we're going to need the cloth coming in. So we might place another tailoring building over by the other side of the town where we have the cloth being produced. So we don't have to bring it over here unless we can do multiple recipes, which we can. So let's just bring the cloth over here then. That kind of cuts down on the stuff that we need coming over here, I guess. So let's do it like that. Then we need the cart that we have idle right now. We can go ahead and have this thing pick up some of the cloth from over here and just go ahead and drop it off in this building here. And now we should have this stuff getting produced. So the sandwiches, we also need another one of those buildings, right? To go ahead and make the sandwiches completely. So we need another kitchen, which we don't currently have the planks to do. So let's actually double up on our plank production here. I think there's a limit to how many we can do. Yeah, we get a plank every 5 seconds. So that's going to come in handy. We can also increase our log production, although it's already at 4 and it seems to be fast enough to keep up with it. So the plank shortage should be kind of dealt with in a second. We can actually stop making the wheels. That's kind of just eating into a ton of our stuff here. So let's see. We can make the conveyor belts now. We can make them with wheels or the conveyor belts themselves. Let's go ahead and toggle both of those as a recipe. And then let's see here. We're going to have a wagon bringing those 2 items back. So we're going to need 2 of the wagons. Or you know what? Actually, we have a lot of people idle. We have 4 people idle right now. Let's just have these guys bringing the stuff back to this place. So that way we don't waste any of the wagon wheels on the construction of the wagons themselves. So that's going to go ahead and start producing some of the cloth conveyors. And then we need this guy to go ahead and bring those back to the main building here. And I think we also need the cloth coming back to this building. So we're just going to set a person on bringing that to the building, and I think that should be good. We can't increase the speed of this building anymore. It's already maxed out. So hopefully we're able to go ahead and meet the demand of the cloth that this thing needs now. It's only 1 a piece, so it's not too bad, I guess. So then we can have our people also bring in the stuff over here, because right now these buildings aren't emptying. They can go ahead and drop the winter clothes off over here. That's going to count toward the mission goal, which we already have 4 out of 25 produced. And then we should also have the planks now to go ahead and build another kitchen, so we can place that down now and then start hopefully producing the bread for the sandwiches, which we can place that over here actually, so we don't have to walk so far. So that can go there, and then this guy can go ahead and produce the bread. And that's all we need this guy producing right now. We also can make the cheese, and we're going to need milk for that actually. So that's another thing on the pasture that we need to go ahead and set up as well. So I think I have everything set in motion now. We just have to wait for it to go ahead and get produced. So this guy over here is making the bread. And then we have the bread going over to this kitchen here. This is making the sandwiches. And then this kitchen over here is making the cheese. And that is just pulling the milk out of the pasture here, going into that. And then we're having a person walk back over here to go ahead and drop the cheese off. And then the same thing with this one here. This is just making the chicken, and that's going right back to this building. And eventually this will go ahead and start producing some stuff. Although this guy's kind of just sitting. Oh, you have to get 5 milks in there. That's why. Okay, so that's going to take a little while for that to go ahead and process through. Do we have a backlog of the chicken feed? We do. So let's actually place down a couple more of the wagons. We're going to eat a couple tires doing that, but I think we should be fine. That way we can have these guys taking more of the animal feed over there, so we don't have any sort of delays because we don't have enough of this stuff. Okay, so we actually just completed the tech level rank up here, so we can go ahead and stop production on a lot of things here that are eating into our resources. So we're going to go ahead and stop the conveyor belts being made, which it just automatically did on its own. I don't know why it did that, but we can go ahead and stop that one as well. And I think we're not going to toggle this to build anything else for right now. We'll just leave it be. Let's go ahead and rank this thing up. So, oh, actually, we need to go from this screen. My bad. Let's go there, and that's going to rank us up to the next level on the tech. And then we should only need the sandwiches and the warm coats now. So we finally completed the goals here to go ahead and complete the level. One thing I noticed while doing this was actually a very bad idea to go ahead and set it up like this. I didn't realize that the only way the characters can go ahead and deliver to a place is if they can interact with it. So what I was having happen over here was the animal feeds were clogging up the sides of this thing that they can interact with it. So then we wouldn't have our water going to the thing, and then everything would just lock up because we didn't have one of the ingredients coming into this thing to go ahead and process through. So it took a little longer than it probably should have if I had probably set this up correctly. But nonetheless, we got this thing completed. So let's go ahead and finish the level here. So, wrong thing again. We need to go ahead and click on this one. And there we go. That is level 2 complete. And we can go ahead and do the next chapter of the game here. But for right now, that's actually going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. So hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.